Hello, it's Sandra Hart, and I am going to be talking a little bit more in an extension about selfies and how I feel about selfies in a collab with one of my favorite people.
In your deep blue eyes, the day has begun. You spin around, you laugh to yourself, and I see you shine in every color. Rest in your head.
What do selfies say about you? What do selfies say about me? What do selfies say about ourselves today? In this world of instant gratification, is that good or is it not?
There's no place on earth I would rather be.
This is Sandra Hart. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a really fun video for me. Elle of Elle is for Living reached out to me after she saw the video that I did several weeks ago on selfies. And she was really interested in getting in on the conversation, so she contacted me. And she asked me if I would do a collab with her on selfies. Well, I had to think a little bit because I thought, gee, I really talked all about selfies. Maybe will not have anything left. But then I thought because of the age difference in Elle and myself that it might be I might have a little more to say that might be a little bit different from what she's saying. So today I'm going to go back to selfies and what I think of selfies. But first, I want you to go back with me. Remember when we took a picture, usually if it was a group picture, we had to ask somebody else to take it so that you could be in the picture with your friends. So we would all take turns taking pictures of our group. And then, of course, my mother would always take pictures of me just before the prom in my prom gown. But I always needed someone else to take the picture. Never did I ever dream in my wildest dreams that someday I would carry around a phone that I could take pictures with 24/7. It just never entered my mind. But remember when we took that picture, we couldn't wait until it was developed. So we had to run to the store and hand in our roll of film and hope and wait for a week or two until those photos came back, and then we could look at our pajama parties and look at pictures of us when we were with our friends. So in a way, the anticipation is gone. Selfies has taken away that anticipation because part of the excitement, I remember when I was younger, was waiting to have those pictures developed. And that was part of the whole great thing about photographs. And then the Polaroid came, and we could take pictures in the Polaroid and wait a minute, or two for them to be developed and pull them out. But they really weren't that great, and after a while they would fade and you could hardly even see them. So taking pictures now of us and of our friends has really changed, hasn't it? We no longer have the anticipation and the excitement of waiting to see if the photographs came out. I know that when I was working and I always had to have headshots done every year. Now, a headshot is the professional shot that you would send into casting directors or that your agent would have, and they would send them out to casting directors. Well, about every year I would have to have headshots taken, and I had to go to the photographers and sit and have a shoot. And then by the time he developed them, he would give me a contact sheet. Now, a contact sheet was a long sheet with all of these photographs on it, and they were really small, and sometimes you had to look at them through, with a glass, and you had to look through them. But those days are gone. Everything is digital and everything is fast, and there's no waiting at all. But thinking about this too, do you remember when selfies kind of first came to be popular? it was always a picture of someone taking a picture of themselves in front of other people. So usually selfies was like a group picture of that person and whatever was going on with their friends. So it was a group picture. But today, most of the selfies that I see on Instagram and on Facebook are what? They're just selfies of one person. You know, some people hold the camera like way up in the air to give a good angle. And so the selfies just recently, I mean, just through the time that selfies have been popular, have morphed from group selfies to just selfies that seem like they are asking for acceptance. Like, hey, you know, do I look okay? And do you like what I'm wearing? And things like that. So selfies have morphed. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Because each and every one of us is interested in the other person. We are interested in seeing how they live, you know, what they do, what they're wearing. So maybe it really is a service that allows us to get together, and it's not based 100% on ego and acceptance. I think it's based on acceptance, but maybe not ego. And as a matter of fact, when I was reading more about selfies, and they have done studies, guess who, and I was completely wrong in my first video because I thought men had less egos than women. But it turns out that men are worse at taking selfies, and men are more ego-driven when they take selfies than women. So kudos to us, and I was really wrong. It's the men are the ones that have more of an ego than women. And with women, it's more curiosity and acceptance. So we have morphed from waiting weeks for our film to be developed so that we could have the excitement of seeing pictures of ourselves with our friends, or reliving the prom and looking at the pictures of us with our date, or the pictures that our mothers took before our date came in our gowns. It has morphed from that to instant gratification with selfies. And you know what? That's not all a bad thing. So that is my extension on my selfies conversation. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please be kind to yourself. Do something good for someone, and don't forget to share the love, and maybe you're going to share your love through a selfie. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in my very next video.